Okay, class, welcome back to part 2 of the Geographer's Craft. For Lab 6 and Custom Map Projection. So, on this one right here, we're pretty much done with everything. We've done the hardest part, right? We have these two maps right here. You can kind of try and make these sizes a little bit better, obviously. Okay, I'm not going to do too much of that because that's y'all's job, but you want to keep these a nice size. You can go to zoom to layer to make a pretty similar size, but I'm going to let y'all do most of that finishing stuff. But if you just kind of transfer them over right here, you can see already that it's just a slight difference, right? It's a slight difference, but they are different map projections. I'm actually, if you're gonna bring them here, you can make them the same size. Right? Pretty close enough. Close enough. Zoom to layer. Yeah, it's pretty darn close right there. Okay, so you can see them when they overlap. They're pretty close, but just off just a little bit, right? So like if you go up here, right, like what we just did, you can look at these properties, right? Oops, go on these layers right here. Go to properties. You have the transverse Mercator right here for the green one, and then for the yellow one right here, properties, we're using the Lambert conformal conic and the Texas statewide mapping system. Okay, so not major changes, but still it's enough to see it just a little bit. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add an inset of Texas. Okay, so we're going to show where this is. So that is the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Insert New Data Frame. So we got a new data frame right here. I'm just gonna properties, just go to general. I'm just gonna name this Texas, right? So apply. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag these guys below it, right? So we're grabbing both of these shape files right below it. Okay. So I'm gonna also make sure that I also click on them. We go to zoom to layer, so we got this map of Texas right here. Alright, and then one thing I'm going to do first, I'm going to make this hollow, right? So if this is hollow, just looks a little bit better, right? Okay, and I'm also going to change the projection as well too, because that's not a very good projection of Texas. I don't really like that. So we go here, state systems, and let's use the Texas statewide mapping, okay? So yes, and as you can see, that changed it right there to just a little bit better, okay? So you're going to want to change this, all these right here. I'm going to leave it like this because I'm not turning this map in, but these are your elements that you're going to need, right? Okay? So the next thing we're going to do is do a title, right? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do right now is we're going to insert a title. So let's just call this custom versus standard projection. Projection, Austin, Travis County, Texas. Okay. So again, all this right here, I'm not going to make it look pretty. That's y'all's job, but right here. And then, so what we're going to do next is we're also going to do the other things we're going to do, though. Do another text bar of kind of an explanation of what this is. We're going to do a scale on this, obviously. We're going to do also the name, but the only difference here. Oh, what happened there? We lost this guy here. Okay, that one's still there. We lost it for just a sec. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to, as opposed to doing a legend, right, where we have different colors, we're just going to do a little bit of text on the bottom, right? And this text on the bottom is just going to tell us what each of these is. So for this green map here, that's all crazy. I'm going to zoom in just so I can see a little better. Okay. For this green map right here, I just want you guys to go to properties right here. And properties, these are just a couple of the things I want you to add, right? Okay, so you can write these down. You can do a couple things, but what I want you to do is do a text, right, and just put it right below that, right? Okay, so go to properties on that. And then in here, I want you to add those things. So I want there to be the northing, easting, it's the transverse Mercator. So we're just giving the important information right here, right? Okay, so the central meridian and also the scale factor, okay? Okay, so I'm not going to add these. I'm going to let you guys do this. I'm just showing you what I want, okay? So we got this right here. We're going to hit apply and okay. And this is going to be right here. So that's the information right here. Let's just do this again. I want this to be to the left, okay? Okay, that's good. So all this information is going to be right here under this. And then for the next one here, what I want you to do is to go to properties on this one. And I want you to give me this information right here, right? So this is the Texas statewide mapping system. We're using the Lambert conformal conic, and you really don't need to go too much into that because by just saying we're using the Lambert conformal conic and we're using this standard projection, that's enough. But all I want to see here is that you're letting me know kind of our custom projection right here that we did, and then giving the important information on that, and then as well saying the other one right here. So of course this map looks pretty terrible. I'm going to let you guys do the rest of that, but this is a good start of what I'm looking for. So I want you to turn in this map as a PDF to Blackboard. And then the other thing that I would like for y'all to do is going to be on the lab right here. Okay, so it's in the lab, but what I also want is I want just about a page justification of why we chose the projection we did. What happened when you choose the wrong projection? So what happens? Why are map projections important? And why is the scale factor important? Okay, so you can use this link right here on the bottom of the lab as a way to help. And this should be just one page, double space, so probably around 300 words, something like that. Not too much, but just give me like a little bit more information of what you chose, why you chose it, and why it's important. Okay, so that is all for part 2 of Lab 6. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great day.